I goofed on that one. I admit to it. I'm not perfect. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll forgive you this time.
That's what I usually say at home. I'm not perfect, okay?
All right.
Okay. Do you ever say to your loved one that you're not perfect? No? You don't want to answer that.
Okay, Lindsay's on the line now.
So as we were talking before, so our featured guest, Lindsay Slutsky, is on the line, but I wanted to let you know, Dr. Michelle, that I found out about her wonderful company called GeoBit from the New York Post that I like.
Yes. You read the Post?
I read the Post. I read the Post, the Daily. So what? You think if it's just not some type of e-news, news reader or come on.
I'm just saying.
Is there a problem with reading the Post?
No, go ahead.
I also read the Daily News also, okay?
Go right ahead. I'm listening.
You have to see sides from the left and from the right. Come on. You can't, will I ever say that I watch Fox News? No. But was I on Fox News? Yes, I was. But it's okay. Oh my goodness. So I asked Dr. Michelle a couple questions. She hasn't answered. I think I totally she has that kind of perturbed look right now, but it's okay. We're still right here. We're totally off the rails. We were talking about public safety. We were talking about that we were going to have AT&T and a few other folks that are going to be joining us a few weeks ago. But I noticed a tragedy happened a few weeks ago at Parkland, Florida, at the school, and we see those young folks, and they're really doing the thing because they're not going to let this situation, just be that mark on history. But along with that, I would tell you that I was reading the newspaper. And within the newspaper, we were talking about, public safety and talking about safety in schools. And I heard about a company called GeoBit because, and a story that I shared with their with Lindsay Slutsky, their CMO, their chief marketing officer, was about a mom that I was watching on TV. The mom on TV was being interviewed, and she stated that her son, who was nonverbal.
Oh, wow.
Right. So what happens in a situation like that? Her son, her loved one, is unable to state who he was. I guess he didn't have any type of identification on him, or if the identification was in his bag. So.
And then he was not supervised.
So you got kids, in this type of emergency situation, all bunched together. The mother doesn't know, and she's going from location to location. And that's when I stumbled upon GeoBit. So with this, I would like to bring on Lindsay Slutsky. Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
You are welcome. We have Dr. Michelle, also Lindsay, in the studio today. Lindsay, I guess we will turn the mic over to you and allow you to tell your story.
Sure. So GeoBit was really inspired by a real-life parent panic event at a very crowded Chicago park in Chicago called Magnolia Park. Our founder lost his son for 30 minutes. His son is fine, but it was one of those moments where he ran off and he couldn't find him. Took him 30 minutes to find him, and it left obviously a lasting impact on him. So at that point, 2 years ago, we started, this company trying to make a location tracker for children so that this could never happen again. So here we are today. 2 years later, we're shipping the product and to families all over the country to try to help parents avoid this kind of panic and bring parents peace of mind. And now as the world becomes more and more uncertain, and things that happen like in Parkland, Florida, trying to bring parents that reassurance that, they can keep their kids safe.
So Lindsay, what exactly does the GeoBit look like?
So it's a very, very small location tracker. It clips on to clothing, shoes, accessories. It pairs with the parent's smartphone and delivers real-time location alerts to the smartphone, so you'll know exactly where your child is, not only where your child is, but who they're with as well. And you'll get notifications if they leave a trusted place or a geofence. You'll get notifications if they're outside a route they would normally take. So it really just brings parents peace of mind. When you have children that are the ages, of let's say 2 to 10, before smartphone age, you'll know exactly where those children are.
Lindsay, this is Ted. I just want to ask you, so I take a GeoBit, let's say, I purchase one, I receive it, I charge it, I give it to my son or my daughter who's, pre-10 years old, or I put it in their bag or on their person. What is the battery life?
So we actually have our own proprietary technology. We call it progressive beaconing. This allows us to traverse radio frequencies from Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular, and GPS. That allows us to track in every location, but it also allows us to optimize battery power, so we can actually get up to 30 days of battery life on just one charge.
Perfect. Question: is it primarily for children? Is it also? Would you also include it for pets?
So we started this business with kids in mind. We're parents. We've had these problems. I've got 4 kids myself. We started it with kids in mind, and we really felt like if we can nail this for our children, if we can do this for kids are obviously our most precious assets, and this can obviously work for multiple verticals. Pets kind of is the next, obvious departure that we'll make. And when we started taking pre-orders for the kids' product, we got a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails from pet owners saying, hey, can they use for my pets? So we do actually have a product that's available for pets as well, GeoBit for pets. We're taking pre-orders for that now too.
How does this work? Like, say, for instance, I know if I'm doing physicals at a school, sometimes I don't get good reception. So do you have the same thing that can occur with the GeoBit?
Yeah, so we use a hybrid cellular network. We use AT&T and T-Mobile. So we can avoid, as many dead spots as possible by using this hybrid network. We're not solely mandated to one singular cellular network. But, if there are dead spots, if there are, if you are in a very, very remote area, GeoBit will work just as your cell phone will work. It's got basically all the guts and stuff as your cell phone would have.
Okay. Well, I have boys, but I mean, they're a little older now. But how does it work? Like, if kids are getting kind of rough, they try to break it. Is it waterproof? They like to walk outside without coats and things like that.
Yeah, well, hello, fellow boy mom. I've got 4 boys myself.
Oh.
I hear you. I know what you're saying. Yes, it is durable. It's waterproof. It will withstand the life of my 4 boys it has so far.
All right, perfect then.
Lindsay, I have a uncomfortable question to ask you.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. So, and totally hypothetical. Parent X has purchased a GeoBit.
Mm-hmm.
They have it enabled, and they have it with their child. Okay, An event happens. The child goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
The process to getting that information, or how easily is that information turned over, let's say, to law enforcement?
So security is something that we take extremely seriously. We've engineered our security end-to-end, over-engineered it to make sure that your data is safe, so only the parent can access that information. If your child were to go missing, you can, parent X or whoever it is, whoever has access to that kid's location is going to know where that child is. I mean, our product is not a replacement for calling 911. It's not a replacement for good parenting. You need to take those steps. But if that were to happen, you would be able to know where your child is or where they last were.
As long as they have the GeoBit on, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, because, some kids would like to play with things, loosen things, so.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why we've actually created several different attachment methods. So depending on your child and their tolerance for wearing things, special needs kids. We've got different attachments and locks that, are appropriate for different kids, and every parent, knows their child. Every child is different, every family is different. So we have different attachment methods that are, applicable to each child, and you can make that choice when you're wearing GeoBit.
This is Late Night Parents. We're talking with Lindsay Slutsky from GeoBit. I do have a story that I want to share with you, Lindsay, you, Dr. Michelle, and also to Brian. I'll take it from here. I wish I had a GeoBit maybe about 11 years ago. And you say, why? Well, I happen to be in the mall at the local Foot Locker, and I'm buying sneakers for my daughter. So I had her, she was sitting down, and I went to reach for the sneaker. I'm looking at the sneaker. I guess I became fascinated with the sneaker. By the time I turned back to my daughter, she was gone.
Oh, wow.
And that feeling that you get, I mean, terrifying is an understatement. So before I start to lose it, and I start, well, I wasn't screeching, but looking for where she is, yelling her name, and one of the customer service reps said, "Sir, is this your daughter?" She happened to roam into the stock room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I and so that's where I kind of tie this stuff together, and I'm not sure, and in that case in time, because when parents fall out of touch with their children, or their children's go missing, I think the technology that you have here is something that should be available, and accessible to be purchased, Lindsay, at your local stores. So I shared that story with you to say, how would we purchase a GeoBit?
Sure. So right now you can purchase it right on geobit.com. That's JIOBIT.com. And I agree with you. I mean, modern parents are expecting more in terms of what tools they can use to parent their kids. As technology is advancing, as millennials are becoming parents, they're expecting that technology is going to help solve some serious problems for them. And the one you just described is a serious problem. If Facebook can tell me that my friends are close to me, why can't I have some kind of tool that can tell me where my children are when I'm not with them?
Exactly.
It just seems like that natural progression of where the world is going. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that this is kind of where we are going, and GeoBit is something that parents should have to help them with the hardest job in the world.
That is true. Lindsay, best ways we can find out more information. Any of our listeners want to find out more information through your social media channels or your website. So here's your opportunity to plug the GeoBit.
Sure, definitely check out geobit.com. If you're interested in our pet product, please go to geobit.com/pets. You can see us on Facebook at GeoBit for Kids. And always, when you hit those sites, you can reach out to us directly, and we're happy to answer any of your questions. We are real parents, talking to other real parents, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Lindsay, here's a plug for you. I will actually say, when I was reading the New York Post and I stumbled upon your product, I did go to your website and I did click the chat feature, and within couple of, within maybe 90 seconds, I was actually speaking with someone. So
yeah,
thumbs up for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Great response.
Great response. Hey, we want to thank you for joining us, and we want you to definitely come back.
Thank you. I'd love to. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
all right.
Thank you very much, Lindsay.
Yeah, great to meet you both. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.